Hello, friends. Here we are again, Wednesday. The Second Life Exploration Extravaganza. Had kind of a rough day at work today, so probably not going to be super enthusiastic, but I will try to be as optimistic and balanced as possible. Whatever that means. Buy the book. Buy the book, Neotoy Story. Ethereal Mountains. Oh, that sounds kind of cool. I have to admit, I'm getting really tired of these segmented sims. I'm gonna try this one out. It's probably for this land. Oh, that's a beautiful landscape. Was there for like 5 seconds. Ugh. What was that? What was the name of that sim? You don't know. I must have had multiple land security orbs. I got 3 notifications from that one sim. Alright. That's a shame, because that was a cool looking sim. Looks like someone spent a lot of time on the landscaping. But yeah, these segmented sims, it's very common. I mean, I can think of several practical reasons for that. Alright, Operation O'Donnell, Rose Haven Falls. Gonna try this one. Wow, it's like deja vu. It's really similar. Let's see, flying's not turned off, so that's good. So yeah, leasing a sim from Linden Labs is expensive. Okay, that's not it. There we go. So I want the waterfall, the sound effects to be totally overpowering. Just gonna like pan around a little. Wow, these are really nice assets. Well, is this like a shop sim? Maybe. Like I was saying, it's expensive to lease a sim from Linden Labs, so naturally, unless you want to bear the brunt of the full tier cost, you're probably going to have some business partners. And if you have 2 or 3, every one of them contributing, to the tier, then naturally they're going to want part of the sim to be sort of their own. So that would explain the sort of partitioning that happens a lot here. Like, you can see this sim is broken up into, it looks like 6 discrete sections. Yeah. Or 3, not really sure. These dividing walls could just be symbolic and not necessarily functional. You'd actually have to check. Oh yeah, see, so it's 6 segments. So say there's like 6 different people, and each one of those people is contributing to pay the tier, so they get their own like slice of the sim. So that's like one reason for partitioning that I can think of. Another one would be like, obviously a sim is really a huge land area, and maybe your conception for your build is not gonna take up the entire sim, in which case And I've seen this quite a lot actually, where someone will partition off like half of the sim, and half of the sim will just be blank behind a rock wall, and the other half is where the quote-unquote content is. So that's another thing, because obviously you don't need all that space. Sometimes you just want to have maximum density of objects within a smaller area, in which case that's sort of the ideal function, I think. So this is pretty cool. I like how the landing point is like right on this little bridge, so you just, when you first res, you're basically like in the middle of all the really exciting stuff. So just from a cursory examination, I'd say this is all top tier assets, really high quality stuff. Let's just do a quick scry of a couple things. Oh yeah, what next? Wow, I haven't seen that brand name in ages. They used to be huge, like easily as big as Apple Fall at one point. Basically the same sort of stuff too. I wonder if there's a lot of Araskia, totally different. Those are really, really nice detailed job on those flower petals. Although look at this. See that graininess? When they did their bake for the petals, they didn't use a like despeckling filter. It's kind of something I just learned about recently. You can see it all over the whole texture too. It's where it's like they basically have rendered the object in the 3D software like Blender or whatever, but the rendering doesn't have like any post-production filters, so there's a little bit of graininess from the ray tracing or whatever, the render. More Araskia assets. That's a creator I've never seen before. Clearly high quality work. Hydrangea by Reed Parkin. Also high quality. This is honestly some of the finest landscaping I've seen in Second Life. Like, this is phenomenal. This is like, a lot of times people overdo it with the grass, or they overdo it with the flowers, or they use like unrealistic assets mixed in with realistic assets. With these like poplars, I don't know what these are. Let's see if I can just find out what kind of trees. Doesn't say. It only says he made them. Mazui, Leonhardt. I mean, they look kind of like poplars to me, but I only know like a handful of trees, honestly. But like, look at this. Even though like smaller little like bushes and stuff, like the understory is all articulated. They got like ferns and stuff. This is just great. Like, I've seen AAA titles, like mainstream video games, that had landscaping that was worse than this. So right off the bat, this is like the most impressive thing to me so far on The Sims, just the incredible job on the landscaping. Looks like there's some kind of a chapel here, maybe. Wow. I gotta admit, this is like a real treat just to look at the quality of the assets. It's like very refreshing. This is like exactly what I needed after my incredibly shitty work day. It's like builds like this that sort of restore my faith in Second Life as a viable platform. These are just incredible. Vespertine. Another high prof creator. But like very well curated. It's like clear that whoever the architect for the sim, they very like carefully selected a bunch of different assets from a pretty large swath of different creators. And like, yeah, they're like well, that's kind of weird. Haha. I don't know why those trees are floating over there. Maybe the Maybe it's like, let's see if there's a... Ah, they're just floating out over the ocean. So maybe they accidentally copied those and then they didn't notice that they were sort of cast adrift. That happens a lot when you're building a sim. That's not even a newbie mistake. That's just like something that is inevitable, honestly. I feel like every sim architect should have like a sim editor, or like someone who just comes in after the major work is done and does like QC. Thank you, Mango. Thank you so much. My cat's trying to like steer me right into a tree. Good job, boy. These look like an allium of some sort. It's fantastic detail on these flowers. Yeah, you simply won't find more detailed flowers and botanicals in any other platform in Second Life. Yeah, Giant Allium by Felix 5B. And yeah, so once again, another creator, you know, so clearly this person was like really putting a lot of thought into this and chopping around and not just like phoning it in, you know? Not just picking a bunch of prefabs off of one marketplace shop and then slapping them all together. That's kind of cool. Ah, Death Row Designs. Everyone should be well familiar with that name by now. So some of these modules are prefabs, like with all those props, but that's kind of cool. This is like an interactive tic-tac-toe board. Huh, cool. Tic-tac-toe is kind of a funny game, though. I feel like it's a great like drinking game or a game to enjoy super casually when you're at a party or whatever, but like if you're of a certain level of intelligence and you're playing with somebody else who's basically the same level of intelligence, it will always end in a draw because it's just the computational complexity of a 9-item grid, unfortunately, is low enough to where the human brain can actually like synthesize all the potential outcomes at a glance. And there are a few like tricks you can do with tic-tac-toe to like try to outwit your opponent or like sort of lure them into making mistakes, but there really isn't a lot of those. So after you've expended your list of tricks, basically it's just a never-ending draw session. At least that's been my experience when I played tic-tac-toe. Wow, these blue rhododendrons, or I don't know, it almost looks like damn it, I'm forgetting the name. Not rhododendron, but just says wallflowers. That's funny. Ugh, been having trouble remembering the names of flowers lately. I've been so like just never-ending garden brain. I want to say Crocosmia, but I know that's not it at all. Huh, I've seen someone make these in real life in a local wood shop. That's a nice touch with having those nails sticking out like that. It's like a beanbag toss kind of thing. Pretty nice work. Open road. Oh yeah, cornhole. That's what they call them. That's cool. It's a interactive game. I feel like this is like a wedding venue or something, you know? It seems very much like it was designed for that purpose. Wow, those are gorgeous. Oh yeah, definitely a wedding themed location. I've always been a little curious about that. I mean, Second Life's really interesting. You can actually like denote in your profile like who your partner is in Second Life, which is interesting. Some people literally get married like in Second Life in real life, and then other people just get married in Second Life, like their avatars get married, but they're not married in real life. It's very intriguing, like, I don't know, for me personally, just to think about it. Yeah, this is nice. I wouldn't mind getting married here. Alright, let's see what else. Alright, I looked at the barn. I looked at this whole area. But that's just 1/6 of the entire sim. Pretty incredible work for 1/6. And you can see, because they were working in a smaller area, they probably had more time and energy to devote to, you know, a really focused and concise build, which the results were really quite exceptional in my opinion. Alright, let's see what we got over here. I'm gonna just do a quick fly over the boundary, and if I get hit by a security orb, I'm just gonna try to fly back. Okay, so you have to be a group member to even go over there. I actually love this. I've seen this on many sims now, which is really kind of hilarious. How there's like a tunnel that faces one of the dividing walls that like doesn't actually connect. It's just kind of a cool effect. Like, I call these Wile E. Coyote tunnels, you know, like from the cartoon with Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner, how the Roadrunner, or Wile E. Coyote would like, this was like the funniest gag ever in that cartoon. Wile E. Coyote would spend all this time like painting a fake tunnel onto a rock wall, like on a piece of canvas, and then he would wait for the Roadrunner to like smash into the rock, like thinking that it could go through this tunnel. And instead, the Roadrunner would just defy the laws of physics and like zoom right through the painting and off into a totally imaginary mind space of virtual tunnel. And then Wile E. Coyote, of course, would be like, "What the hell? It must be real, or how did he do that?" And so he just blindly follows the Roadrunner, and of course, for him, the laws of physics are real. I don't know, it's a powerful metaphor in some ways. And yeah, it always ends with poor Wile E. Coyote bashing his brains out on the rock wall. Interesting, like muscle cars. I think cars in Second Life is the only space in the whole known universe that I fully approve of fossil fuel vehicles, because they are completely safe, and their level of pollution is only proportionate to the processing power and electrons required to manifest them in the virtual space. I feel like I've seen this house a million freaking times, although this is a slightly different permutation, kind of a more like black and gold color, rose gold color scheme. He has smart refrigerator. Haha, that's crazy. Like an Android calendar on the front. Let's see what we got here. Yum. This is a really well... Let's see, can any of these come out? No. I've only clicked on one fridge so far, I think, in Second Life. This one's amazing, though. I love all these little details. Only one fridge have I clicked on in Second Life where it, not only did the doors open, but all the trays, too, like, slid out. Oh, this one has a freezer compartment that comes out. That is impressive. Like, I don't think I've seen that yet. Usually the freezers sections don't work. Let's see who made this, actually. I'm curious now. Family Hub. Axel Porter. Oh no, that's not the creator. The creator's still loading. Huh, they don't have a name? What the hell? Oh, Deborah Stein. These are a little sketchy. Like I do this what I call scrying, where I'm like inspecting the item like this, object profile, and it tells you who the creator is and who the owner is. But this creator thing isn't always accurate, because sometimes if the item is full perm and the person who created it sells it on the marketplace as full perm, and then someone else takes it and modifies it and resells it, then their name will be listed as the creator. So it's not always like 100% certain. It just gives you a general idea of who made the item. And I usually do this just so, like, if I get curious in the future and I want to like check out their shop on the marketplace, like usually what you can do is like profile and then click on the creator and then go to profile, and it's this really like breadcrumb trail you have to follow, and then you go to their picks, and then there's their marketplace shop, fancy decor, and then you click here or here, and then eventually you can maybe find that specific item on the marketplace, like, and buy it for your own avatar, your own virtual house or whatever, if you really want to. There's this other thing I've been wanting to do. Maybe today's the day, I don't know. These are nice tables. Really like the elegant support structure there for those. Elevate, yep. Rack supporter. Really nice curtains too. Wow, yeah, good job on those. Very realistic. I like the chandelier too, honestly. It's pretty awesome. Whoa, that's a great view they have out here. Like a waterfall raging right next to their swimming pool. They have beds outside, that's kind of cool, I guess. Except for when it rains. But yeah, this one thing I've been wanting to do for quite a while, and I don't know if I should do it in a separate video or in a Second Life video, but I've been wanting to like do a short like tutorial for people on how to use the camera most effectively in Second Life, because I've noticed so many people, so many other Second Lifers, even like people who've been doing this stuff for years, still kind of like struggle with the camera and navigation, and that just kind of like surprises me, because for me it's like it's become second nature. I mean, I still have trouble sometimes because it's not like a perfect system, you know, especially when you're ghosting like I am right now and just kind of gliding through all the environments. Looks like not many of the rooms are like filled with assets, just a few of them. Ironically, like the kitchen and the bathroom, you know, that's like the most common things people synthesize in Second Life is like showering or preparing and eating food. Alright, let's do the toilet test. The lid, but not the seat. Let's see if it flushes. Nice. Nice attention to detail there. Toronto toilet Rio. Bizarre. But yeah, so camera controls. I'm probably gonna do a separate video, but I'm just gonna go over it really quickly in this video. So I always have my fingers on two buttons on the keyboard, and that's with my left hand. And then my right hand, I have my finger on the left mouse button, basically. And those three buttons are pretty much what I do or use constantly to navigate and zoom in and stuff. Oh, that's awesome. Huh. That's nice work there. Like a garage door. Yeah, so the left mouse button is the actuator, right? I mean, nothing happens unless I'm moving the mouse and pushing down that left mouse button. For zooming in, I'm holding down the Alt button. So I'm simultaneously holding down the Alt button and the left mouse button. And this allows you to zoom in, but it also allows you to orbit, which is really cool. I don't know if a lot of 3D programs have that as a combo. So it's like a soft orbit, which is pretty cool. But then, if you need to do a hard orbit, so like right now I'm holding down Alt and left mouse and just moving the mouse side to side, and that gives me this soft orbit. And like it can only go so far without really like changing the camera perspective. Like that zooming in and out thing is sort of a side effect to that. So that's where the control button comes into play. If I hold down control, it immediately creates a set focal point for the orbit, which is whatever I happen to be looking at. So that locks the orbiting, which is super useful. I can't zoom in and out, it just purely orbits whatever I happen to be focused on. So when you let off the control key, then you once again can zoom in or out, which is really useful. When it comes to like these smooth perspective shifts, that's just me holding down both the Alt and control buttons and then clicking at where I want the camera to look, which is like super useful if you're inside a building. So that's exactly what I'm doing right now. And then the second I want to like focus on something, I'm basically letting my finger off the control button and then sliding the mouse up to zoom in or back down to zoom out. So it gives you a tremendous amount of control. I'd have to say for the majority of the time I'm probably holding down both the control and the Alt button. I spend a lot of time inspecting individual items. So like maybe for like 75% of the time I'm holding down both buttons. And for 25% of the time what I'm doing is kind of a more like broad observation, and then visually I'm just picking out the thing that I want to make the focal point of my sort of inspection or navigation, if you will. But yeah, you do it enough and eventually it just becomes like second nature. Like I don't even think, like I've mentioned this before, it's pretty much instantaneous. Like my ability to navigate in the environment and focus on what I want to focus on is pretty much, it moves at the speed of thought. I don't really think about it at all. I'm simply just doing it the way I want to. And my brain just kind of like operates the controls without any real direction from me. It really is kind of like I'm a ghost in the machine, kind of just floating around and moving physically to wherever I want to look. So this was kind of interesting. A lot of cars. Oh yeah, I missed the tennis court. I was actually kind of intrigued. This is curious. There's like some kind of a facade type module here on the, oh, it's a basketball court. Maybe it's, yeah, it's just a basketball court. That's cool though. Oh, it's getting dark. I'm going to change the sun position. Alright, I'll use the environment settings. I prefer this actually. Customize, not midday, but 3 p.m. Whoops. Picked the wrong one. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting I'm in Firefox. Or, Firestorm. Jesus Christ. So like the selection of options is quite a bit different than in the official viewer. But that's the one that I usually prefer, 3 p.m., you know, like official Second Life settings. So yeah, this is also a pretty well composed space. I wanna see if I can fly over to the other side of the sim. Probably not gonna be able to, but I'm gonna give it a shot. Oh, lucky me. This is pretty nice, tranquil looking. It almost looks like a demo or something, like they were starting to work on this, but they hadn't quite finished it. And this looks like a warehouse build. Interesting. So this looks like some kind of industrial sex club type thing. I'm like debating whether or not I should even try to reopen that door, because it looks like there's a lot of X-rated content in there. Although it's avatars. I don't know what the laws are for avatars. I feel like, personally, I feel like if it's not a real person, it's like not the same, but the law doesn't care about my preferences or a lot of things like that. And especially the sort of fascist moderators of YouTube or whatever, they certainly don't care about my opinions. Okay, let's see. Looks like a photo like backdrop right here. I saw something floating up in the sky too. There's a little build platform that someone's just been messing around on. Maybe they even forgot it exists. Alright, what else? There's 2 other areas. I'm excited about that house over there. It looks kind of high pref. I already got lost again already. Okay, that's where I just was, so it's this side, okay. Let's see if I can fly over. Nope, it's another group specific zone. I really like this house design a lot more than the others. I'm not a huge fan of modern architecture, but A-frames are kind of timeless. Oh wow, that's cool. Very responsive and cool modern doors. That's neat. Let's see who made this. It's a very Bad Unicorn. There you go. Scenic Suite. Very elegant, modern construction, sort of minimalist, which appeals to me. I'm a millennial after all, you know. Avocados and minimalism, those are like the 2 bedrocks of being a millennial. It's the 3rd pillar of being a millennial, is like socialism, right? Or is it social media? I don't know. It's so like absurd that whoever created this went to the level of detail that it has like a docked like little light up indicator, so your virtual phone in a virtual world lets you know that it's docked in a virtual charging station that isn't actually charging the phone. It's lots of nice plants in here. Evadne quintessa, mithril funnel pot plant. It's kind of nice. Ooh, and this looks like almost like a money plant, but it isn't. It's something else. House plant. Oh, eucalyptus. Duh. Ornamental eucalyptus. Monstera. Snake plant. I like to play a little game with myself since I'm a gardener and a farmer. I like to try to guess what things are before I click on them. But often it either won't say or this is a really nice little set right here. It either won't say or like it's some kind of a generic fantasy plant that doesn't really have a real world analog. Oh, this is cool though. These all have the Latin like scientific names for each one. That's really cool. That's my style. Like if I create any kind of botanical stuff in Second Life, of course I'm gonna include the scientific names. That's just like, wow, look at this like molding on this wall panel. That's pretty cool. That's an interesting table design. Oh, I like that a lot. It's very kind of like African, but also sort of like, I don't know. Yeah, just like it. That's all there is to say. Same landscaping out here as in that other sim, so maybe this is the person who set up and like arranged. That's funny, they got two trash cans overlapping on top of each other there. It's a lot of devices. It's really nice work though. Whoever made that whole charging station. David, Heather. Oh my god, a freaking Amazon Echo? Is that what this is? That's crazy. Just imagine if this was like 40 years from now, or 30, or however long it takes to completely synthesize our universe to the point where this would be like an actual Amazon smart appliance that would actually connect with Amazon and be like fully functional in the virtual world. This looks like the same smart refrigerator from before. Probably with the same stuff inside. What is this thing? Just cabinets? Huh. I'm changing the color just by clicking on them. Hope they don't mind. Yeah, it's the same stuff, looks like. It's cool when you click on the smart panel, it actually like scrolls through a bunch of textures. I actually have a script for that in my inventory. I'm like changing all of their appliance or cabinetry colors. It's probably just client only though, so. Oh wow. Crazy. So I've seen dishwashers with dish racks before, but I'm not sure if I've ever seen one fully loaded with dishes. That is really cool. That's a lot of detail. I'm gonna make like every cabinet in their kitchen a different color. Prenatal pills? Huh, curious. It's a very like esoteric item, I would think. Who keeps all this baby stuff in their kitchen? Is that like a normal thing? I don't know. I don't think I'm neurotypical enough. It's like a smart weather thing. Wow, this is a nice little piece of detail. Ironic that like the grass is coming through the floor. That's the kind of thing that would just drive me nuts if I was this detail oriented and I was building a virtual house in Second Life. If I saw grass coming through my floor like that, I'd go ape shit. So yeah, that's kind of cool. Nice house. Oh, what do we have here? A little hot tub. Wow, that's a quality. Some quality assets right there. Too much, there we go. Trompe-l'oeil. Probably, oh, Corrido. My French isn't so hot. Okay, finally the last part of the sim. Kind of glad that this sim had so much stuff to look at that I can just do one video, because honestly I'm a little tired of those streams where I'm like jumping from sim to sim to sim. I always just kind of hope and expect each sim to be its own discrete cool package. Roost manhole. That's pretty nice and detailed there. Don't tell me there's an actual sewer system under here. No, I didn't think so. That'd be kind of cool though. And you're gonna have like a cell phone charging dock with a fake virtual phone, but then you're gonna have a sewer grate that doesn't go down into a fully articulated sewer system full of rats and chuds. A little security panel. Non-functional, apparently. Just a prop. Oh, this is cool. I love water features in real life. I mean, this is like one of my favorite things. Water is just like a magical element. I feel like every landscape, whether it's a garden or a house, like a square, you know, like they should always include, even like malls and stuff. I feel like water features are just essential for a real, I don't know. Water, it's like essential for survival, and and it's so beautiful and primal. I feel like water should always be incorporated in all of our environments, so that, you know, we get that little extra. It's like they say forest bathing in Japan and Asia and stuff, where like this is like scientifically proven. If you're out in the woods walking through the trees and surrounded by nature and stuff, you know, like lowers your blood pressure, reduces cortisol levels. It's just so good for your body. Like alleviates depression, and water, I feel like, is a huge part of that. Like a gurgling brook, you know, a little mossy stream. It's like a core element of that aesthetic. Here's some of that ornamental eucalyptus. There's some nice table sets. What are these, yoga balls? One's got a full-blown yoga studio in here. Oh, whoa. Wow. That's some sophisticated blind scripting there. Look at that. That's cool. It even tilts each individual slat. That's really neat. Not by much, though. It's a very, like, subtle tilt. Or is it even tilting? Yeah, it's tilting, but it's subtle. That's really cool. Wow, that's cool. I'm just like really impressed by the attention to detail of the appliances. Deborah Stein flex dryer. With auto updates too. Toilet paper. Ah! Oh my god. I swear, if I never see another roll of toilet paper as long as I live, or never hear about toilet paper as long as I live, it will be too soon. Like the last 3 weeks have just been like toilet paper this, toilet paper that. Oh my god. Right, we got the pixelation here on the oven too from the baking. I just found out like how to completely eliminate that. So if I ever make any baked items with baked textures, which I am planning on doing, I've been watching a lot of tutorial videos. I'm like preparing to like level up my modeling game. That's cool. There's even a bunch of like AI driven filters now. I guess you call them filters. Some of them are like just really sophisticated algorithmic plugins that can like denoise a render. Another one of those Amazon things. It's such a weird thing to have in a virtual world, honestly. Like, I understand why you would have something like that, because it really adds to the realism, especially if you like have one in real life. That's so trippy. What the hell is this? It's like a baby koala. I don't even... I don't know, it's a dog, I think. No idea. Trippy. Oh, whoa, this is a cool lamp. How do you turn it on, though? I guess just change the shade color, but there's no way to actually turn it on. That seems like a pretty big oversight to me. Terrariums, that's nice. I might look into her shop later on. I love these plant walls, that's cool. Oh, neat couch. It's like just all inflated. I guess those could be like full of stuffing or something, but it looks inflated, like an inflatable cushion. It's very like IKEA-esque. Holder, water. Huh. Uh-oh, I'm gonna read somebody's email. These are all just fake, so... It's a blank key, that's kind of weird. But, once again, just a prop. Lots of stuff outside, maybe. Oh, they got a little wind turbine, that's cool. Power's full, click to store. Huh. Could be part of some larger system. Oh, looks like it's scripted to react to the wind, maybe. Nova. Oh, cool, there's like a greenhouse out there I totally missed earlier. It's not really a greenhouse. It's kind of like an atrium, I guess. A little mini conservatory. It's kind of cool, just a pile of fluorescent lights. Edgy. Wow, nice little succulent tray there. Let's see what we have here. Ugh. Seyo Bungalow Retreat. Oh, it's a gotcha. It's nice though. Ooh, I like these black. Oh, this is like the hot boxing den of vices. Got our weed over here on the 420. That's hilarious. On the gram scale. Incense. Why, thank you, Windows Defender. Here's like a dildo bong or something. I don't know. You can get high while you're masturbating. Some more weed inside a... This little lava lamp's kind of... Oh, it's a lava lamp bong? That's an interesting concept. Lipstick lighter. Let's see what they're smoking here. Sour diesel. It does look like a pretty nice place to get high, honestly. That's pretty cool. think that's just about everything. On this sim, at least. I had such a rocky day, though. I kind of like don't really want to quit the stream yet. I think I might do another sim and make it like a really long stream. I feel like I'm on vacation today. I just need to take a vacation from my life. So this is perfect. Second life. Okay. I'm gonna go back to playing planes. I already put the SL URL in the live chat if anybody wants to go to that sim and check it out themselves. Okay, let's see. Gonna bring up the map. Ugh, my cat's like literally putting his full weight on my hand right now. I can barely even use the keyboard. I guess like social distancing has made me feel pretty lonely. Maybe I'll go to one of these sims with a whole bunch of people. Da Vinci Gardens, Kalipa. This seems kind of cool, and there's a few people. Let's try this one out. Alright, flying and no pushing. God damn. Let's see, what is this? Mango, come on. Get your booty off of the keyboard, bro. No pushing, no scripts. What the hell is this? Cannot be seen or heard. Oh, that's cool. I didn't even know that was an option. Dynamic pathfinding is not enabled. Alright, so flying is not turned off, so that was kind of trippy. Oh, they got a Z layering problem there, but wow, that's weird seeing like a photorealistic image in Second Life. Kind of broke the immersion there for a second. This is kind of cool. It's beautiful, if anything. It's like a spectacle. It's a clavichord. It's neat. Harp is a sprite that follows your eye perspective. So like a fancy aristocratic ballroom kind of thing here. Kind of old generation, but well done for using like old technology. Like this kind of looks like Prims. This is a really cool contrast actually from the last sim, where all of the topiary and landscaping was fairly realistic, versus this is sort of the last generation, previous generation of like sprites, which a lot less resource intensive, but as you can see, not nearly as realistic in terms of color, saturation, and of course, like obviously if you look at it from above, the reality is revealed that it's just a bunch of 2D images all positioned together in like a hexagon. I mean, it's a really effective from a short distance and like a casual kind of inspection, but when you look at it from above, it actually doesn't look so great. It's a nice little archway. But yeah, the point I was trying to make is that like this really shows you the difference between a high pref model versus previous generation. I mean, each has its own aesthetic, I guess. Me personally, I just prefer the more realistic model, like 3D articulation versus sprites. Looks like there's a lot of stuff to see on this sim. Like fighting with my cat to try to get control here. Oh cool, I clicked on that basket and the lid came off and now a bunch of birds are flying out. That's pretty neat. Huh, I didn't even notice that castle before. Or how I would get up there. Wow, that's pretty spectacular from a distance. Wow. It's awesome. This has a very, like, riven mist sort of feel to it. In fact, it feels very much like the island in Mist. Just missing a rocket ship. Looks like we got some ships and castles. Pretty cool. I really want to take a look inside that castle, but there's so much to see, I'm not sure where to start. Alright, let's just go from where I am. I'm gonna see if there's a way to just navigate by walking. Take a closer look at these ships. Yeah, those are definitely prims. But like pretty good work for that era. Wow. I don't know, it makes me nostalgic when I see all these old style builds. Alright, let's go through the love tunnel over here. Ugh. He never misses an opportunity. Oh cool, there's like bats flying around. Kinda looks like a labyrinth. Huh. I wonder if each one of these passages comes out in a different place. Oh, there's like the central annex right there. I think if I take this passageway I might end up over there. I really like the ambient sounds. It's very atmospheric, like it really significantly adds to the immersion. Like it's sort of filling in the gaps with the lower tier assets. Interestingly enough, that other sim that I was just on, which had such amazing landscaping, didn't really have any other atmospherics. Like they put all their time and effort into the visuals, but there wasn't really any sounds or entities. Oh, that's kind of trippy. Owl takes you to the winter wonderland. Oh my god. A literal winter wonderland. Like, I joke about that all the time, but this door is a teleporter to the shop. They have a Second Life marketplace. That's cool. I just pasted the a dragon tour. That sounds exciting. Let's try this. I'm ready to go. Sit on the dragon, it shows you around. Oh yeah, here we go. Haha. This is fucking awesome. Alright, I'm giving this sim like high ratings. Just for this alone. This kicks ass. Wow, those wing beats are like so realistic too. Alright, I'm just gonna go first person so I can like enjoy the tour. Yeah, this sim feels totally alive, like all the birds and everything just around. Cool, I'm flying through the caves. Yeah, I wonder where they got these sound effects. Little like puffs of fire coming out of his nose. It's a nice touch. Is that the whole tour already? No. Oh, this is epic. This is like golden age era Second Life scripting and stuff too. I feel like there's a lot of scripters even nowadays who couldn't pull something like this off. It's like the technology has just been lost to time. Using those flex prims for the wings, that's pretty cool. The like a expertly done alpha maps, like no pixelation whatsoever. It's gonna stall out. It's really like, I always wish for times like this in Second Life I had like a music track I could like queue up with like some totally awesome like heavy metal music, like someone just shredding it on an electric guitar with like all sorts of like neon text like flashing or scrolling by on the screen, just talking about how totally awesome Second Life can be. So just visualize that, okay? Use your imagination. If I was there in real life, I would direct the dragon to go over there and blast that ship with fire and just set it on fire and then it would sink. And I would also direct him to opportunistically snap up any seagulls or other birds that he just happened to fly by. Gotta keep that internal furnace stoked. Seagulls are like Red Bull for dragons. They just gobble up a few dozen and then, wow, you better watch out. It's gonna be like Vietnam flamethrower. Just got whacked in the face by a palm frond. Ugh. Alright, I think that was probably the... No, there's more. Wow. This is a real long flight trajectory. Oh my god, I can't even imagine how long it must have taken to map this out in 3D with scripting. The sound effects are so good. I mean, I'm wearing headphones right now, so it's like just incredibly loud and intense, but it almost feels like I'm riding a real dragon. it wasn't for this pixelated neck, I would totally just be like convinced. I like how smart the dragon sounds too, you know? Those aren't just like dumb, guttural grunts. They have a real sort of like edge to them, like I don't know, a lurking intelligence. I mean, I honestly feel like he's just biding his time. He's like giving me the tour, and then when we're done, he's just gonna like gobble me up. Alright, I think we're landing, maybe? No, probably. Oh, I'm getting closer to the spot where I took off from, though. I hope he doesn't just fly around indefinitely. It said tour, but you just never know. These things are so open-ended. Do a barrel roll, man. Alright, coming back into land, I hope. No, I almost feel like I could just end the video after this tour. I've seen everything, just not like up close. I really appreciate how user-friendly this dragon was. It was like there was no note card or anything. You just hop on, click on the dragon, and then you're off on the tour. The only downside to that is now I don't know if it just goes on forever, or I think I don't remember flying past this on this side before, so I'm also kind of wondering what's the end game here. Like, is he just gonna boot me off or disappear or land? Honestly, this is cooler than any of the Second Life experiences I've done yet. This is way low-techer than those. There we go, he's coming in for a landing. That's pretty cool. It's gonna land right on top of that other dragon. Maybe? Alright, I'm just gonna assume that was where the tour ended. Yeah, okay. That's the first leg of the journey right there, so... Okay, cool. That was the complete tour. Alright. When you hop off, the dragon just conveniently disappears, which, that's pretty tight. Maybe he didn't land because he saw that other dragon and he was like, oh, I don't want to start an incident here. Don't want to have a dragon brawl with Neotoy Story on my back. I'll just be asking for a world of hurt. Oh, long spiral staircase. Oh, like a big rock feather up here. That's kind of cool. Alright, let's see. What was the most exciting thing that I wanted to look at? And I think it was basically that big castle over there, so that's where I'm going to go. And there's the drawbridge. A drawbridge. I'm just going to do a quick circle around and see if... Yeah, that kind of looks like the entrance, so... Interesting. There's no tower. Like, why would you have a drawbridge going over... I mean, there's no staircase in here. It's just, it's like a drawbridge that goes to another tower on the side, but there's no way to access it. Could just be like a teleport that puts you up here. Renaissance Castle, huh? Oh, that's cool. They have it like a... Huh. 197 prims. Wow. It's like a showroom almost, like you could buy the castle. That's pretty cool. Pretty sparsely furnished for my tastes. Old school door notice and animation, that's cool. Library. Ooh, a secret passage? It's not very secret if they tell you how to access it. What? Okay. That door doesn't open though, so I guess it's just like let's see. Yeah, it just goes straight into the rock wall, so... But I don't know, still pretty cool. Okay, let's see, we got a little balcony out here. There's another, like, tower over there with no access. That's more of a lookout tower, though. It's got the arrow knocks. Keep getting hung up on like invisible stuff inside the castle. I don't know what the deal is. Could just be like a sim boundary crossing, although I'm on one sim, so I don't really know what could be causing that. Whoa. I feel like this is well worth that price tag. And I've seen modern castles using mesh that didn't look half this good. This is really awesome. Alright, let's see. I want to see what's... That's just another... What are those? Falcons? Or hawks or something? I don't know. Another lookout. Actually, let me look out here. Pretty cool view from this. I don't know how useful it would be to have arrow notches that high above the ground, though. Maybe if you were like firing a ballista or some kind of super souped up crossbow. Alright, here's the tower where they keep Rapunzel. Getting a little rubber banding. Which, like I said, doesn't make sense because I'm only on one sim. That's pretty cool. See us out, right? 5:30? Yeah, pretty close. It's like the chapel or something in here, huh? It's a great effect on those windows. What the hell? What is this, Fulbright? Huh, that's funny that they don't go to the outside, but still it looks more or less realistic from inside. This is the kind of real skill back in the day that was required of people building stuff in Second Life to utilize often low resolution, low quality photographs as textures on prims to get like phenomenal results that honestly are in many cases as competitive as they're competitive with modern mesh builds, I would say, in a lot of contexts. Certainly from just the casual sort of enjoyer's view. Is this like a token dragon up here, or is this the dragon that I left behind? That's cool. There's just dragons flying around all over the map. Maybe other people doing the tour. It's a non-functional door. Also non-functional. Oh, what? I don't get it. There's like a internal area to the tower, but there doesn't seem to be an access point. Maybe that door is actually huh. Ugh, I'm having a lot of trouble. Okay, so I click on the door and it takes me to the top of the tower through this trap door, presumably. I'm really sorry about the camera handling. It's just there's a lot of transparencies in here that the camera tool keeps latching onto, and it's making it hard for me to like see around the corner and stuff. In fact, it's basically making it impossible for me to do that. So yeah, there's no stairs like up through the tower. It's basically just teleport only, I think. Let's see if... Yeah, okay. Clicking on the door teleports you to the top. It's kind of cool. I'm pretty tempted to ride the dragon, but I feel like I've already already rode the dragon. I'm done chasing the dragon. Okay, that's where I started, so I've already seen that cool building there. Huh. I've already been in that area. What do we have here? Some people on swings. That's cool. It's like a trapeze. Oh, an observatory. That's pretty cool. Oh, looking at Mars, huh? Wow, this is pretty rad. I mean, as lo-fi as the graphics are, it's just like, as a conceptual build, I feel like this sim is incredible. I'm gonna see this like ruined castle over here. Let's see what we have. Rose Manor, the ruin to live in. 59 prims. So another like building for sale. No, I've mentioned before that like if I was actually gonna live in a place like this, I would definitely be inhabiting the ruin like an actual ghost, haunting the ruins of some old dilapidated medieval castle. Uh-oh. I don't know why ruins are so attractive to me. Step on to open the passage. Okay, this is exciting. Just step on this. And then it opens up and reveals a hidden staircase going down into the depths. That's pretty cool. More bats. Ooh, a treasure chamber with another dragon. That's pretty cool. Sleeping peacefully. Interesting. You can actually get lindens from the dragon? That's so interesting. I have plenty, so I'm not going to play the game and deprive others of a payout, but kind of a cool little touch there. I'm hearing it, but I'm not. Okay, cool. It's phantom, which is nice. Always nice. Like, whenever possible, make doors phantom. Because let me tell you, it's a real pain if script malfunctions and a door won't open and you're stuck inside or outside. Just a big headache for everybody. And there's like no reason to have physical doors, really. Cool. It's an interactive bell. I just clicked on it and now it's ringing. But for whom does the bell toll? Oh, there's another dragon over there? Huh. Dragons all over the place. This place is infested. They need to call an exterminator. That would be a cool, like, movie or TV show premise. Like, in a world overrun by dragons, Neotoy Story had one job, and that was to exterminate them all. Oh, that dandelion. Oh, cool. Alright. Firestorm just crashed. So... yeah, that was the stream. I hope you guys had as much fun as I did. This was seriously one of my better streams, and it couldn't have come at a better time. I hope you all had fun, and I'll see you next time. Stay safe out there, everyone. Neo out.